sure you get everything like you want it.
Alrighty, it's time to get a little wild and crazy here tonight, as we're going to take on the Glen Helen rallycross track with our Bridge to Cup series. And honestly, I don't know where this is going to head yet, because it's going to be a wreck fest, I imagine. And if that's the case, you don't know what's going to happen. So we should see by the end of tonight who's going to come out on top in the great unknown of the Glen Helen Rallycross. So starting on the front row, you've got Andrew Moger alongside Gannon Bird, Rich Roy and Ryan Little, Cannon Gage and Lucas Holmes, Noah Hobson and Paul Adino, Dave Steele and Scott Speed, Kyle Ottawa and Alan Malcolm, Braden Hunt and Bradley Ream, Spinham Walker and Kyler Sestre, Krista Cower. Sorry, I had to sneeze there. And Atlee Weiss. Weiss, who still needs to get a win to qualify for the playoffs, the bracket championship battle. Starting about mid-pack here, so he's going to have his work cut out for him. John Hagan and David Bird, Asiel Escobar and Jack Davis, Roach and Jamie Horseman, Luis Rodriguez and AJ Kosnoff, Cooper Dwight, who's going to need quite a few more spots in the point standings to actually fully qualify for the bracket championship, alongside Adam Starr, Kevin Xavier, Kat Durham, Nadak Hagum, Anheuser Wagner, and Chasey Plays rounding out your field here today. "25 laps around this dirt rallycross track. All of these cars are at the cleanest point they're going to look right now, as they're going to get tore up and dirty during this 25-lap event here today.
How quick the commitment line comes up on you into turn 2 there. Short block right there. Second was on the green flag, wear him out. Even if he says he understands, keep wearing him out. To pit off from turn 4. Was just calm. It's gonna be long.
Currently, it's Dave Steele Jr. leading the points over Bradley Ream and Gannon Bird. And so it's going to be interesting to see Dave Steele not all the way up at the front here. He's starting about 8th. He's going to have to work his way up to the front to try and minimize points lost here today. You can already see some damage on the side of Moger's car. Just the sheer violence of the jumps and bumps around this track. Ryan Little cased it there. Got a little bit out of control. And we got a whole pile up here going through. So off to the early lead, it's Gannon Bird over Andrew Moger, Ryan Little, Rich Roy, and Lucas Holmes. Towards the back half of the field, it's Cooper Dwight with Asiel Escobar and Chasey Plays. Oh, no way. Gannon Bird out of the lead. Ah, dang. Well, this is a hindsight I did not anticipate for. The Uber damage is forcing everyone to pit. So let me do a quick backtrack here. As obviously I have not tested a lot of these rallycross tracks to perfection. This track, we'll go ahead and disable damage and see if that helps. It's still going to be kind of crazy, kind of chaotic, but ultimately I think we'll have a better race to show for it. So of course, now with damage disabled, we won't necessarily have any retirements, which is going to be hard to justify. But we should still see these guys. It'll be overall a better product. So we'll let it roll and see what happens here.
Nice long day. We're right here.
So even with damage disabled, you're still going to have drivers that spin out and make mistakes here today. And deep in the field, it's Dave Steele Jr. Yeah, mistake there made by David Bird in the 13. Atlee Weiss running mid-pack currently in 21st. Currently with the lead, it's Braden Hunt over Ryan Little. So coming around now to complete the first lap, you've got Bradley Ream, one of the championship contenders, sitting there in 5th. Cannon Gage sitting in 7th. A little bit further back here, Atlee Weiss in 17th. Tyler Sustre in 19th. Gannon Bird in 22nd. And even deeper in the field, you've got Dave Steele Jr. running 27th. Struggling with this rallycross track here today. On that first lap, fastest lap belongs to Braden Hunt at a 57.682. He's cooking around there at a 202 mile an hour average, which seems rather absurd on a dirt rally track like this, but I guess we'll take it for what it says there, 202.786 miles an hour. Yeah, there's no way that fastest lap is correct. His fastest lap was a 247.118. I don't know where it got a 57.682. Well, we had a pit stop from the lead there. That was Ryan Little pitting. Didn't look like a mechanical failure, but everyone's still going to have tires and gas that they need to make to the finish here today. This being relatively long road rallycross track, they're likely going to have to pit at least twice in this race, in 20 lap race that we have going here. We look at the garage, they're going to say 31 laps, but I don't know how accurate that is. Currently, new leader hands it over to Osiel Escobar, leading over Braden Hunt, Cannon Gage, and then you've got Kat Durham, Bradley Ream up into the top 5, his teammate Andrew Moger running 6th, Scott Speed 7th, Paul Ladino 8th, Anheuser Walker 9th, Spin Walker 10th. Atlee Weiss in the top 15 there. Dave Steele Jr. making some moves through the field. Looks like he's into the top 20 now. Cooper Dwight moving forward. Ultimately, obviously damaged, disabled, so everyone's going to continue running all the way to the finish here today, but pit strategy and other elements are going to come into play. This was mostly an untested track. I tested it and they seemed to make laps, but didn't realize that once they made a lap or two that they'd all come down pit road to get damages repaired, which was looking like it was going to be an endless cycle. So with damage disabled, we're actually having some good racing. We've seen the lead swap hands now 3 times. And of course, Osiel Escobar leading the way. This could be huge. Huge for Osiel Escobar, who has had a rough season to this point. If he could somehow find his way into victory lane, that could open some doors for this young talent. We're slowly closing towards halfway in this race, 8 of 20 laps. Osiel holds a pretty good lead over Braden Hunt at the moment. 3rd place, Cannon Gage. 4th place, Kat Durham. And 5th place, Bradley Ream. Okay, we are officially halfway through this rallycross event here at Glen, Helen. And it's Osiel Escobar with the lead and the fastest lap, leading over Braden Hunt, Cannon Gage, Cat Durham, Scott Speed, Bradley Ream, Andrew Moger, Paul Ladino, Anheuser Wagner, Krista Cower, and then you've got Noah Hobson, Spinham Walker, Atlee Weiss in 13th, Alan Malcolm, Gannon Bird, Dave Steele Jr. getting up into 16th place now. Cooper Dwight right behind him. John Hagan, Ryan Little, whom had to make a pit stop. Whether that was scheduled or unscheduled, we are not sure. David Bird, Rich Roy, followed by Kevin Xavier Roach, Jamie Horseman, Lucas Holmes, Jack Davis, Luis Rodriguez, Nadak Hagum, Kyle Ottawa, Chasey Plays, Adam Starr, and AJ Kosnoff, who just made a pit stop as well, it seems. Kyler Sestre right there in 33rd. That's going to be a hard hit in the points for Kyler Sestre. In the meantime, Osiel has not had a run like this yet this year. His best finish, if we look at the ratings, he has had a best finish this year of 4th. He actually had started on the pole and finished 4th at the Rallycross, the Riverside Rallycross X Games racetrack. And so seems like he's got a knack for these Rallycross tracks, which might not equate to much once you move up the ladder. Getting into Cup, you're not going to see any tracks like this, but it definitely shines bright on the driver skill that Escobar has and what he could bring to the table for some of the teams that are likely looking for a good candidate. More takers down pit road. Bradley Ream, Cannon Gage, and Cat Durham. Those were 3 of your top 5 drivers right there. As Escobar still continues to lead. He's actually grown a sizable lead. New 3rd place driver after those pit stops put Scott Speed up to 3rd. Andrew Moger in 4th. Paul Ladino in 5th. Anheuser Wagner in 6th. Krista Cower in 7th. Spinham Walker. Atlee Weiss now up into the top 10. Seems like the 80, the 35 still running 16th. Bradley Ream, after making his pit stop, rejoins the track in 9th. Escobar leads lap 12, 8 laps remaining in the race here today. This race definitely has been for the better here tonight after damage was disabled to allow for the racing to break out instead of the wrecking. And no one has been making pit stops due to damage. Everyone that's making pit stops, it's going to be for gas or tires. And Ostiel Escobar has been able to stay out this whole time without pitting. He might have to make at least a pit stop before the finish. He's really not hurting. He's still putting down fast laps even on 12-year-old tires. Maybe something a little bit to do with lighter tank of gas load. A lighter gas load leads to a lighter car, which may keep him on those fast times as it is. You can see that distance has opened up significantly over Braden Hunt in second. He's got a pretty big lead over the 95 of Scott Speed even. We are down to 6 laps to go, and it's still Osceola Escobar out front leading. Second place, Braden Hunt. Third place, Scott Speed. Fourth place now belongs to Andrew Moger. Fifth place, Anheuser Walkner. And here we have Atlee Weiss up to sixth. Kind of a smooth operator. Oh, and then a mistake made by Noah Hobson slows up the progress of a few other drivers. Bradley Ream had to make a pit stop, and he's trying to work his way back through the field here. His main objective is going to have to wait for the others to all make their pit stops. And we'll see if those lap times are a little bit more competitive out of the 19. Doesn't look like it is. So he ain't turning any faster laps than our leader. Some fast laps are getting knocked out, though. Kyler Sestre set down the fastest lap. Unfortunately, he's towards the back half of the field, running in 30th. So he's just throwing all caution to the wind at this point. And a lot of these drivers are going to have to hope for more drivers to pull down pit road for pit stops and whatnot. One thing that Osceola is doing that no one else is doing, he is putting together consecutively consistent laps. He has not slowed much past a 2:46.5, it seems like. He just continues to put down decent lap after decent lap. And short of pit stops, if that happens, he's just kind of had a steady lead here, and he can continue to grow that steady lead little by little. Yet again, he turned another 246, this time a 246.4, which is a little bit better than his 246.5. So Osceola with 5 laps remaining. If he can continue to just hold steady, he might be the one to get it done here today. We'll see if there's any other takers down pit road on each lap as they tick by. Atlee's going to stay out. He's still running in 6th here. Time's starting to tick away on Atlee's chance at getting into the bracket championship battle. Currently, he is 36 seconds back, so short of a miracle, he either a miracle or pit stops is the only way he's going to catch Osceola Escobar. The gap has shrunk now as Braden Hunt closes it up on the number 8 of Asiel Escobar. Escobar had one of his worst laps throughout the race here, a 2:52.0, and Braden Hunt was able to catch up by nearly 4 seconds with a 2:48.2. This race definitely far from over. Escobar needs to hold on for 4 more laps and manage his mistakes here. Braden Hunt right there, hunting down the 8 of Escobar. Escobar with 4 laps remaining. Everyone else around has kind of started pitting, so I don't know if that's going to be a factor here with our leaders. Even if they were to pit, they should still shake out right about where the other guys that were running alongside of them had pitted. So there's a lot of racing on the line here. And still see who's all on pit road. Lap traffic right there in front of Escobar. That is the 81 of Kyle Ottawa. Escobar is going to stay out yet again here. All he's got to do is keep it clean for 3 more laps. He picked up the pace and turned a 2:47.2. But Braden Hunt also turned a 2:47.2. Well, Escobar opening that gap up a little bit more as the 4 of Braden Hunt struggling a little bit. Actually, Braden Hunt struggled so bad that he dropped back to 3rd. Oh, Paul Ladino clipped. There's people coming down pit road. We've got 2nd, 3rd, 4th place coming down pit road here on lap 17. 5th place, that's going to move Atlee Weiss up to just about 2nd place here. Escobar still staying out though. Everyone else pitting to get a clear-cut way to finish this race on the gas. And it's looking like Escobar might be pushing his strategy to the very barren edge here. Scott Speed rejoins the track in 2nd. Noah Hobson in 3rd. Alan Malcolm in 4th. Braden Hunt in 5th. Andrew Moger in 6th. Bradley Ream in 7th. Where is Atlee Weiss? I thought Atlee Weiss, unless he decided to pit last minute. Did not see the 84. Wow, the 84 dropped all the way back, so he had to have pitted. Yep, sure thing. He went down pit road. This gives Dave Steele Jr. position over Atlee. Osiel Escobar, lap 18 of 20. He's got a couple laps left to go. Is he going to come down pit road this time and take a quick tap on the gas? For those of you that don't know, this actually is a glorified motocross track that they've turned into a... Obviously, the track does not exist as it looks in the game here. It's a motocross track with hay bales and tough blocks to help navigate the motorcycle drivers around these walls. Not the actual design of this track. And there we go. Escobar makes it down pit road here for his one and only pit stop. We're going to have to see how quickly he makes it through. If he can make it out, get gas and go. Unfortunately, it looks like Scott Speed's going to beat him. Yeah, it's looking like the long pit stop may have been too long for Osiel Escobar. Scott Speed gains the lead for the first time here today. Escobar's going to have 2nd on tap. 3rd, Bradley Ream. 4th, Spinham Walker. 5th, Dave Steele Jr. 6th, Alan Malcolm. 7th, Cooper Dwight. 9th, Atlee Weiss. And 10th, Noah Hobson. So we'll see if Escobar can make up the ground here. If the 95 perhaps makes a mistake. Scott Speed way in the lead at the moment. Mistakes can happen. There's still going to be one more 3.5 mile lap around this track once they come through here. Kind of makes you wonder if the mistake made by Escobar on the lap leading up to his pit stop, right in about this section of the track where Escobar lost it briefly, if that was the big difference or not. We'll see if Scott Speed makes a similar mistake. We all know that Scott Speed, he does rallycross racing in real life, so perhaps this comes a little bit on second nature for him. Ooh, makes clean path through there. This is where Escobar made a mistake last time. Let's see if he makes it clean through there this time. Scott Speed takes the white flag here today at Glen Helen. There'll be one more lap, and Escobar has to make another pit stop. Unfortunately, more than sinking his shots at victory here tonight. That's a bummer deal for Escobar there. He's going to probably lose another spot or two on pit road. There goes Bradley Ream, Spinham Walker, Dave Steele Jr., Alan Malcolm, Atlee Weiss. He might be back to about 6th place now. Scott Speed still has to make it around for this final lap and not lose any ground. He's got a pretty sizable lead over 2nd place Bradley Ream at the moment. He's got actually a very large lead, 28 seconds to be exact. This will be huge for Scott Speed as it'll be his first win of the season. A lot of the typical suspects working their way up to the front here. Osceola Escobar can't hang his head too low after having a great run here, leading so many laps and looking like he could have got the job done here today. 6th place is definitely going to be a morale boost for this team. And rest assured, he will have at least another rallycross track on the calendar that he can aim to try and get victory for. But today's winner, it's all Scott Speed. Scott Speed steals the win here at the end and nabs victory here at Glen Helen. Ossiel ends up coming home 8th here today. Wow, Dave Steele Jr. comes up to 3rd, Atlee Weiss up to 4th, Bradley Reams 2nd. And it looks like Scott Speed might be out of gas here on the last lap. So he pushed it to the barren edge just like Ossiel Escobar was trying to do at one point. Yeah, everyone's out of gas at the end of this one. Holy cow. Well, it's safe to say this track might be on the kibosh table for next season. But at least we gave it a try. At least we had a winner and we had a full race to show for. So definitely not of higher quality that we've had here in this Bridge to Cup series, but we'll give it a C for effort, I guess would be the best way to put it. So. Well, just hold tight as I am on standby. It won't let me in the session until majority of the cars are out of the race, I guess. So we'll go ahead and do a quick recap of the running order. So winning the race, none other than Scott Speed. Coming home in 2nd was Bradley Ream. Dave Steele Jr., points leader, still going to have that points lead by the end of the day. 4th place, Atlee Weiss still needs a win. Alan Malcolm 5th, Spinham Walker 6th, Ryan Little 7th. He led some laps, unfortunately had to pit and fell back to 7th. Ossiel Escobar led quite a few laps. He sits back in finishing in 8th. And we had Cannon Gage, Roach, Jamie Horseman, Gannon Bird, Rich Roy, John Hagan, and Jack Davis. Kevin Xavier, Luis Rodriguez, Noah Hobson, Krista Cower, Kyler Sestre, AJ Kosnoff, Anheuser Wagner, Andrew Moger, Cooper Dwight. Braden Hunt led some laps. Unfortunately got trapped back in 25th, 1 lap down. Chasey Plays, David Bird, Paul Ladino, Kat Durham, Adam Starr, Kyle Ottawa, Lucas Holmes, and Nadak Hagum. So that is a wrap for the Glen Helen Rallycross 20 lap event here with our Bridge to Cup series. And we're in it for the long haul. The 28th, we've got a race, 29th, 30th, all the way to July 10th. So keep on keeping on, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Glad you can make it. Stay safe out there. Have a good night. And we'll see you on the next one tomorrow when the Cup Series hits Michigan. Later, folks. This is Jakester signing